If you craved for intense stealth action games similar to Splinter Cell, then let me introduce you to Intravenous 2. Intravenous 2 is a stealth action game made by Explosive Squad Games that follows the story of two main protagonists. Shaun, a hitman with a moral code that has put him in a very dire situation, and Steve, vigilante from the first game that failed to reintegrate into society after the events from the first game. Events at the start of the sequel forced both of them to work together in order to save Shaun's dad and take revenge on the captors. The story of Intravenous 2 isn't the best on the market, but it is miles better than the story of the first game. All it does is give the player interesting environments and situations to go through. You'll be infiltrating either during the night or during the day, which affects the presence of innocent bystanders and enemy patrols. You will be forced to go through civilians' homes, and you will be storming compounds in order to find compromising evidence or rescue your targets.
Okay, I'll stay here.
And the best part is, you get to choose the approach to deal with objectives. In order to do said objectives, the game gives an extensive inventory of weapons and gadgets, ranging from non-lethal, like taser mines, tranquilizer rifle, gas grenades and multi-launcher, to lethal options like frag grenades, claymore mines, Molotov cocktails, and huge number of weapons with their in-depth attachment customization. You like going rainbow on your foes. Take heavy body armor, a couple of various grenades and a medkit to stitch up your wounds. And finish it off with a custom-built AK-103 with extended magazine, a reflex sight, trigger, a compensator, heavy spring for increased fire rate acquisition, custom ergonomic for tighter spread. Plus get a trusty sidearm in a form of Glock 18 with a drum mag, just to flex that full auto feature. Or use the type that likes to give himself a challenge and sneak past all the foes. Discard your primary weapon and body armor, equip with EMP pistol and a new PKC EMP backpack that will disable all electronics in the area around you, from light sources to enemies' radios. Take taser mine for those situations when you need to disable multiple enemies at the same time, and a pistol of your preference. Classic VP9, a 22 LR pistol with extended mag, just to be sure that your target is disabled.
I am dead!
Or Mark 23 with a threaded barrel and a suppressor with the attachment that lets you wreck the slide yourself to get that noise reduction. The choice is yours. Of course, everything is not for free, and you will need to obtain funds in order to buy gadgets, weapons and attachments for them.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no.
The game gives multiple ways to get it. Finish levels to get a set amount of cash. Scout levels for valuables like cash, gems, laptops with crypto in them and other documents. Or you're also given options to do side missions. Scouting levels means that now your exploring of the area has more benefits. If in the first game the only thing you'd get is a new weapon hidden somewhere in a dark corner, now you can also find money to upgrade your gear and even the odds with your opponents in the future. Side missions also give you a chance to exfiltrate with a new gun that wasn't in your gun collection before. Apart from spending money on guns and gadgets, you can also pay money to train after each mission and increase your physical and gun skills. You upgrade them naturally, but training increases the speed at which you level up skills. And, if by the end of the game you didn't get everything, there's always a new Game Plus option that lets you continue playing with your customized loadout to keep on gaining more money to spend on stuff you didn't unlock yet. Just keep in mind that you cannot do higher difficulties with New Game Plus on. And instead of having your skills retained, you'll get 2000 skill points. The level design got way better since the first game. If in the first game most of the time you were going through slums and abandoned warehouses, now you get way more variable locations, like police station, apartment buildings, offices with clerks, and my favorite, a nightclub filled with people dancing on a dance floor who don't really like your moves. Not all levels now share the same objectives of going from point A to point B and killing somebody. Sometimes you're supposed to find stuff, or even rescue a hostage. And in the end of the game, it pushes you to think real fast, because of limited space and enemies will storm your location as soon as they will see or hear you. So doing stealth is even more challenging. Since the addition of new gadgets like PKC EMP backpack, the level design must accommodate for everything at your disposal. And it works most of the time. The gripe I have with gadgets is that you don't get a lot of them, and it's rare to find them on the level to resupply. So usually I just tend to use gadgets that have infinite use, like PKCMP backpack or a throwing knife. Stealth in Intravenous 2 is way harder now, because of the improvement of AI that can detect missing patrols on the high difficulties, like True and Throwback. This is a massive game changer that will test your sneaking skills to the max. When the game tells you it won't be easy, it means it. I saw my friend get exposed and killed multiple times because he was sloppy and forgot that the guy he eliminated was constantly seen on his patrol by several people. So if he wanted to take care of one foe, he should have observed his patrol routine and also take care of people that saw him. This leads to realization that it's better to ghost entire level, which is possible, but extremely hard. And this is what made me really appreciate the difficulty. It may seem to be complete bullshit at first, especially if you think you can take on the hardest difficulty from the start. But trust me, just play the game on the medium to learn the mechanics, get acquainted with the inventory, and then do a new game on a higher difficulty trying to stealth it through. It will feel like a different game. But if you don't feel like sneaking around and just want to get that similar feel of constant high-stakes combat like Hotline Miami, the game got you covered. If you want that one-shot, one-kill experience, you can modify the difficulty to your demands. Experienced enemies can also perform suppressive fire on your last known location. Use their radios to coordinate themselves.
Suspect is in custody.
And just be a way bigger threat than they were in the first game. But that doesn't mean that they are without flaws. They can get stuck, behave in a different manner, and other odd stuff. But overall, I got absolutely nothing that ruined my combat experience. You will never have enough ammo for your own guns to take on the late game levels without the need to pick up weapons or ammunition from fallen enemies. So, you need to carefully decide. Either be precise with your shots, or consider bringing a gun of the most common caliber enemies will use. That said, you can even take a bigger beating with the addition of a medkit. If you took a lot of damage, retreat and stitch up your wounds. You still need to be on the lookout though, because healing will take some time. Other cool addition to combat is ricochet. The angle at which you can perform that is not that big, but it is super useful since you don't have to be on a direct line of fire. Mind that you won't be doing 100% damage this way, and you are going to waste bullets if you're going to do this every time. Better way to do indirect damage are grenades. And now you even have more lethal options. Frag grenades are still the best way to take out a group of enemies real fast. But Molotov cocktails will be extremely useful too. Not only they can kill unaware enemies, but force enemies not to go through that area for some time. And the best thing is, if you are inside a house with rocks everywhere, the fire will spread very quickly. Just be sure that there aren't any water extinguishers around, since it will soil your arsonist plans. And the final ace up your sleeve is slow-mo. Shaun gets a set amount of charges depending on the difficulty and can trigger it anytime he wants, while Steve needs to have multiple enemies looking at him to trigger slow-mo. Combat in the game is pretty in-depth, but what could make it even better? I bet many people who played the first game already know the answer. The soundtrack is the main offender that ruined most of the stealth playthroughs, because of how damn awesome it is. And Extruller cooked something even better for the sequel. The mixing, the juicy bass and aggressive guitar send shivers down the spine. I can't stress enough how much I love the soundtrack of Intravenous 2. Just listen to some of my picks. This stuff right here is what will make your combat to be 11 out of 10. This soundtrack is worth buying through supporter pack, since not only you will get combat track, but also ambience and story tracks. And, as Dev said himself, 90% of the earnings through that pack comes directly to Extruller, who definitely earned it. You can also listen to the soundtracks through Spotify if you prefer that option. Sounds in the game also got a facelift. Guns will sound differently with different ammo types and suppressors. My personal favorite are the sounds of the customization menu. It's pure dopamine injection for me. Intravenous 2 is also a very nice looking game, despite being a top-down pixel shooter. I followed developers' progress on the game through Discord and saw how much time and effort he spent making the lighting look even better than before. Soft shadows, different colors mixed with each other, and all of that can be displayed with integrated graphics. This is just insane to me. I also appreciate the art direction too. It's easy to do pixel graphics, but it's way harder to make and stick to a certain style that won't look boring. This art was done by these fellas, and I really like the style. And the detail of the art doesn't make my eye sore. There might be better looking pixel art games, but Intravenous 2 is definitely not the worst. I'd say it's even better than Hotline Miami, but it's just my preference. Now I want to talk about the support of the game and sum this review up. If you are craving for a good stealth action game, Intravenous 2 will definitely scratch that itch. In a market where there aren't that much games with big emphasis on stealth, this is a much needed breath of fresh air. And on top of that, the game keeps getting constant updates that fixes bugs, adds new content and just keeps the game alive. At the time writing this, the game got its first massive update 1.1 that adds Fog of War gameplay mutator, balance tweaks, new ammo conversion kits, and new guns for supporter pack. And there's more to come in the future. At the time of posting this review, the game is supposed to be on a Steam Hype Train sale for 20% off. Thank you for watching this review. I hope I introduced you to a game you'd love to play, and bid you farewell.